Conor Murphy, what's tonight all about?
Tonight's all about, I think, firstly, it's an appreciation to Gerry Adams because of what he's been through over the last number of days and the attack that our party has sustained from people who tried to do damage to it, both in terms of the peace process and electorally as well. So this is about us giving a very clear statement back. This has motivated us big time. The people we're speaking to on the ground are angry about what has happened here, angry about the approach of the British state to dealing with issues around the past, and angry at this very blatant attempt to derail Sinn Féin. I think tonight will show clearly we're on track. We're on track for a good election. We're up for this. Our activists are up for it, our elected reps are up for it, and we expect to do very well in the upcoming elections.
It's fantastic. You can see behind me here the hall's really filling up. Lots of people want to come along, show support for our leader. It's fantastic that he's here tonight and he's going to have an opportunity to address the gathering, and I have no doubt there'll be a roaring applause for him. This is our 6th county mobilisation. It sends out a very clear message to the British government and those that are at their antics. Gerry Adams is our leader. We're delighted to have him here, and I think the only way that people can show their anger, show their disgust, is to come out on the 22nd of May and vote for Martina Anderson in Europe and vote for your local council candidates. Sinn Féin are the party that can deliver, and I think that's very evident when you see the number of activists that are here tonight to show support and solidarity to our leader.
Slúad an Sky and Shaw le Fáilte Curíúil a chur looking around Sinn Féin, Gerry Adams a Rice and Shaw, the Garra Dúhí Siga about Fursha, how much fear Sasta, how much fear Broadwell, Agal Arish, Linya, Sawalya. It's a 6th county mobilisation for the party. I mean, you will know more than most that there has been a real sense of frustration, a real sense of anger, and a real sense of concern for our party leader and President Gerry Adams. So it's a fantastic crowd. It's not surprising that the crowd is here tonight to welcome Gerry home, to welcome back to his native city, and to welcome him back into the arms of friends and comrades who really want to see him do well and lead us into the next couple of weeks going forward in vitally important European and local government elections right across Ireland.
I can't describe how proud I was to be walking into this hall this evening with our leader, Gerry Adams. During the week we were all very down, but the mood in this hall tonight is electric. Republicans are up for this election all over the 32 counties of Ireland, because we know that we are the people that will deliver change, and that's what those in the status quo and the other parties fear the most. They do not want to see the growth of Sinn Féin because they know that Sinn Féin is standing up and representing ordinary people across Ireland. 350 candidates, 4 Sinn Féin MEPs. The scale of our ambition is realisable, and I think the mood in this hall this evening demonstrates that we are going to have one of the best election results if we sustain this over the next 17 and 18 days respectively.
This is an election rally. That's what this is. Agus so Aintrama go Cartig, go Dunanyal, go Lochgarman, it's Fager Dini a Votoil Sinn Féin. In every one of the 32 counties in this election, citizens have the opportunity to vote for Sinn Féin. Agus ta fish ag Sinn Féin, don cheer Shaw, agus Shannon differ more at her Magina, August na Parchiana. Ta fish Dokasok ag Sinn Féin. Sinn Féin has a vision, and it's a vision that marks us out as being different from the rest of the parties. Because our vision is one of hope for the future. Yes, deal with the past, of course, but it's the future that we look to. Now, we're standing 350 local government candidates right across the island. Wherever you are in Dura, no Ballycashline, no Corkick, no Lochgarman, Oucherby, or Fud and Cheershaw, you can vote for a Sinn Féin candidate. And a third of them, and it isn't enough, a third of them are women. We're standing 4 European candidates, and a quarter of them is men. I listened to Matt Carthy. We were doing an event, National Candidates Conference, organised by our Director of Election and his team. And Matt Carthy was talking, and he said, because Matt has a pair of young kids, and his constituency has 15 counties in it. And he said, sometimes people say to me, you know, you're making a terrible sacrifice, you're making a huge sacrifice on the road continuously, you don't see your kids and all of that. And Matt says, I'm not making a sacrifice. Martina Anderson was 14 years doing hard time in a prison, not in this island, but in England, hard time. So, the rest of the parties send yes men to Europe. Barbara de Bruyn was a woman who had backbone, who had spine, who stood up for Republican principles. We can be assured that Martina, Leah Ní Lynn Boylan, Martina Anderson won't be Europe's men or women in Ireland. They'll be Ireland's men, mostly women, in Europe. That's the person they're going to send. Our political opponents have tried to portray Sinn Féin as anti-European. Because need Sinn Féin a Scarby. Irish republicanism is essentially a European philosophy. It came from the French Revolution, was influenced by the American Revolution, but it was a different way of governing and shaping society based upon rights, based upon citizenship, based upon entitlement by virtue just of being born. You have rights. It doesn't matter if you have a disability. It doesn't matter if you live in a rural area. It doesn't matter if you're a woman. It doesn't matter if you're gay or lesbian or transgender. It doesn't matter. None of those things matter. It doesn't matter about your skin colour. You are a citizen and you have rights. So society has to be organised around that. It's about community, about solidarity, about embracing and looking after the aged and the young and everybody who needs a leg up. It's about shaping it out in that way. It's about being egalitarian. That's what republicanism is about. As opposed to organising society around the elites, the rich, the wealthy, the bankers, the financiers, the political elites, the arms racers. But citizens govern. That's what we're about. Republicanism isn't about austerity. Didn't even know the word existed until about 2 years ago. They use all these clever words. Austerity means the bankers rob the country. You know, Woody Guthrie had a lovely line in a song, some rob you with a 6-gun and some with a fountain pen. We argued during the boom, during the Celtic Tiger, because we're not against wealth, we're not against people being well off, we're for everybody being given a proper opportunity. We argued for the wealth to be socialised. to be distributed to build schools, to build hospitals, to build social housing, to build sustainable jobs. They said no. Leprechaun economics, stupid economics, fairy tale economics. Come the crash, they socialised the debt. No problem. The working man, the working woman, the huge indictment, 2 huge indictments of this country and its governing elites. One is partition, and the other one is forced emigration. It's a disgrace that affects our very psychic as a people. Our culture, our songs, our storytelling, everything is based upon this history of forced exile, that we actually rear our children to export them, as opposed to people having the right to live in the place that they were born. And of course, if they want to travel, let them travel. Of course, if they want to live somewhere else. But they have to have the choice. I all the time make the case. A child born in Darndale, or on the Shankill Road, or on our Down, or on the Murph, the Bogside, if they want to be a barrister, if they want to be a doctor, they should have the opportunity to do it. They should have the opportunity to be whatever they want, to live to their full potential. And, you know, we all, especially us, those of us who are engaged in constituency work with citizens, and many times have we met people who are just so bowed down by the burden of living, you know, just trying to make ends meet. And that's, I mean, I represent Louth, and I'm very honoured and proud to represent Louth, although I have to say I miss West Belfast. But we just meet people who don't have a chance. You meet kids who don't have a chance. There's kids sitting outside the barracks when we were coming out. It wasn't surprising. It's always easier to get into a barracks than it is to get out. But most of those kids don't have a chance. Don't have a chance. They're going nowhere. We want to change that. We want to bring about a situation where they do have a chance. And every vote for Sinn Féin, every vote for Martina or Lynn or the other candidates at the European level, and every vote for our local councillors will build the political strength of our party. So we build the beachhead into the European Union, we build beachheads right across every one of the local government municipalities, and we build the political strength of Irish republicanism. And if you want a reason for why they're coming at us in the way that they are, that is the reason. There's no other reason whatsoever except they fear Maradur Padraig McPierce. There isn't people. That's what they are afraid of, those who govern from an elitist position. See, we see equality as a right. They see equality as a threat. And that's particularly true of the unionist leaders in this part of the island. Equality is good for the people of the Shankill, of Ballymena, of Antrim Town. Equality is good for all of their followers. Equality is good for working class loyalists. But they see it as a threat because if working class loyalists and unionists had equality, they'd also have a bit of sense along with it, and they'd see that big house unionism does not represent their class or any other interests. We have to stay very strong. Doesn't mean we have to be, you know, dogmatic or anything else. Just the day that's in it. You know, Bobby Sands in the cell for all of those years, and I was privileged to know Bobby Sands. We were in cage 11 together, and we all know of the trauma of 1981. But be mindful of what Bobby wrote. The thought that says, I'm right. You see, that's what we have to have. And if you think you're right, you say, you don't have to force it down people's throats. You think you're right, so you try and embrace and engage and debate and discuss and have the confidence of your position. And if somebody else has a better idea, you have to also have the confidence to change and to reflect and to shape things out in order to get them having ownership of what we're trying to do. So we have a big challenge sometimes, and it's a reasonable thing to say, and it's not something has always sort of settled too easily on me, you know, where people say, we have to win freedom for the men and women who died, right? We don't have to win freedom for the men and women who died. We have to win freedom for the children of tomorrow. That's who we have to win freedom for. Most of the people in this room will make it okay in their lives. But there are people out there who will not make it from both sections of the community here unless there can be a process of liberation. And they are dependent on us. And we should not ever, ever, ever let them down. And also, and I finish with Martina, it's a big thing to represent Sinn Féin. It's a wonderful honour to represent Sinn Féin in any capacity, in a common or as a party member. It's a huge thing to be elected by your peers. Let's not let Martina Anderson down. Mobilise, get out, get Martina, Lynn, Matt, get Nia elected and get the largest number of Sinn Féin councillors ever in our lifetime. Go to Mila Morgan.
It's a fantastic turnout tonight. Obviously, given the circumstances of the last few days, it's quite clear people have rallied to Sinn Féin and to Gerry against the backdrop of what they consider to be very gross political interference in the election campaign. So they're all here tonight, both for Gerry and for Martina Anderson, and wonderful to see Lynn Boylan from Dublin here with us. So the mood is great. People are up for the election campaign. We have our party leader back, and we're very confident that we're going to do very well.
Thank you. It's fantastic to be here tonight to see the great crowd to welcome Gerry back where he belongs. I'm delighted to be here to soak up the atmosphere, and I think we're all leaving the room tonight determined that we're going to send back 4 MEPs representing all 32 counties in Ireland.
It was a fantastic turnout, great atmosphere. There's an interesting sense now, I think, amongst Republicans. There's anger at what happened around our party president, but that is trumped by energy and hope and optimism. So I think the message coming from this hall this evening is that if anybody thought they were going to put the brakes on us, they got it very, very wrong. And in fact, I imagine that events over the last days will just strengthen people's resolve. So the mood is great, and Gerry's in good form too, and I think that was very much reflected in his remarks. So we have 350 candidates, 4 European candidates. Every person across Ireland will have the opportunity to support and elect a Sinn Féin candidate. So we're out there, we'll be knocking on your door. We're looking for your support, for your confidence, for our policies, but we're also inviting you to stand with us to defend the peace process.